Okay, this is going to be just a brief tutorial on how to use the Contact Manager situated on the Kaiser portal. I assume that you've gotten this far, and now we're going to enter the appropriate information to actually get in. And once you're here, there's a number of different ways to look up your students. Again, we've got some people on our list. So first thing you want to do, of course, is if it's a recent student that you've been in contact with recently, then they're going to be up here. Now you can see there's quite a long list of people, and you may be able to find your person or not find the person you're looking for. If we look at the first one on the list, Zachary Barnett. Zachary is right here. So one way to get to a student is to click on their information. How do you know you've found them? Well, then you go over to the tabs here on the side, and we can pull up the information on Zachary. We can pull up contact history, whether Zachary's been talked to before. So there's various information that's available once we are on that student's record. It's like going into the file cabinet, and now you've pulled their file out, and now everything that's available is there. But if the person doesn't happen to be on your list, for example, some of you look for Twan Clark, and I couldn't find him or her on this list, you can put the information over here and then do search. Now again, this is kind of confusing because it shows we have the person's name, but how do we get their information? You have to pull the scroll bar down, and down here you'll find students who have a common name, John Doe, Larry Jones. You may have several of them, so it's very helpful to go in and find what their program is before you start looking for them. Now, you're going to be looking at this as a teacher, and so you'll be able to know they should be in your class. You should be able to know what program they're in and make an easier choice to pick which one. Okay, so once you're here, then you click on their name. Again, you'll get the information that's highlighted on this side. Okay, so right now we're looking at the contact history. We could look at their schedule, although many times that's not updated, and we can get their information about their phone number, telephone, secondary email, and things like that. But what we're interested for this exercise is Contact Manager. Now again, it starts to get slightly confusing because it's not real clear what you're supposed to do next. But once we get to this screen, and we've got the right person, and what we want to do is we want to add an activity, which means we're going to send them something. Not send them something, we're going to add something to their file. That's a little bit confusing. It's not an email. This isn't sent out to the student unless we want to. We can email from here, but this is not an email. This just goes in their file. We're going to make a comment, and that changes the subject line to comment, and this can't be altered. Depending on what you choose for activity, it's going to correspondingly put that into the comment section, into the subject section. And then we're down here, and we're just going to write in our test, and then we would save it, and then you're done. I'm not going to save it, I'm going to cancel it, but at this point you've done everything you need to do with this particular student. We're going to cancel it, and I just would like to reiterate that this information is going into a file that is accessible to administrators, to other teachers, to the students themselves. They can get to some of the information. Financial aid people, admissions people, all use this as a way of sharing information about this particular student. So you have to be a little bit judicious in terms of what you put in there. Okay, but it's one of the chief ways that we document how our continuing communications with the student has gone on, so that anybody else can come in and say, oh, somebody's already talked to them, or somebody needs to make a phone call, or somebody needs to do this. Alright, that's pretty much the exercise. So at this point you can log out and check that one off your list.